Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going deep on something that I know a lot of you are thinking about,
Okay.
which is getting better at English.
Yeah,
A big goal.
it is.
But we're going to break it down into really simple steps that anyone can use,
Absolutely.
even if you're just starting out.
Yeah, it's funny how people think perfect English is like the key to success.
Right.
There are so many examples of people who do amazing things,
Yeah.
even if their English isn't perfect.
Right. Like think about famous athletes or musicians.
Exactly.
Their talent shines through no matter how they speak.
Exactly what matters most is being good at what you do.
Yeah.
But of course, being able to communicate well opens doors,
It does.
especially in the working world.
Uh-huh.
Writing clearly can make all the difference.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
In fact, some companies even use writing tests
Oh, yeah.
to see how well you can explain things.
Yeah,
If you can write well, it
does.
shows you can think well.
Absolutely.
And that's a superpower anywhere you go.
Yeah, so let's get practical.
Right.
Where do we even start with improving our communication?
All right, let's dive in.
Okay.
What's the first step?
First things first, we need to master the art of writing.
Okay.
It's like building a strong base for a house.
Going.
You need that solid foundation to build everything else on top.
Okay. Mastering writing. Got it.
Yeah,
But for someone who's nervous about their English,
right.
where do they even begin?
Start small. Spend just 10 to 15 minutes every day
Yeah.
just writing down your thoughts.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Just focus on getting those ideas out clearly.
Okay.
And, there are even tools like Grammarly that can help you along the way.
It's like a workout for your brain,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
The more you write, the clearer your thinking becomes.
Exactly. And that clear thinking helps you communicate better in every way,
Yeah.
not just in writing.
So step one is writing.
Yes.
What comes next?
The next step might sound surprising, but it's incredibly powerful. Read aloud.
Read aloud. How does that help with communication?
It helps your brain get used to thinking in English directly.
Okay.
When you read silently, you might be translating in your head.
Yeah.
But reading aloud forces you to process the language more naturally,
Right.
like a native speaker.
Again, it's like training your tongue and your brain at the same time.
Exactly. I used to do this every day in college,
Oh, wow.
and it made a huge difference in my fluency and confidence.
Okay, reading aloud is definitely going on my to-do list.
Good.
But what about actually speaking smoothly?
Yeah.
That's where I get tripped up sometimes.
That's where step 3 comes in training your tongue.
Training your tongue.
Uh-huh. Think of it like learning a musical instrument
Okay.
or playing a sport.
Right.
It takes practice and repetition.
So what's the best way to practice speaking? Just talk to anyone who will listen.
While any practice is good, try things that push you a little,
Okay.
like join a group where you have to speak up,
Uh-huh.
like a debate club, or even think about jobs where you talk to people a lot, like sales. Those are like boot camps for your speaking skills.
That's an interesting way to think about it. So it's not just about practicing.
Right.
It's about practicing in situations that make you a little uncomfortable.
Exactly. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Right.
And before you know it, you'll be speaking confidently in any situation.
Okay, we've got the 3 steps. Writing,
Uh-huh.
reading aloud, and training your tongue.
Yep.
But speaking itself has so many parts to it.
Right.
Where do we focus our energy?
You're right. Speaking is more than just words.
Yeah.
We have grammar vocabulary, how fast or slow you speak,
Right.
your accent,
Yeah.
even the tone of your voice.
That's a lot to think about.
It is.
Do we need to be perfect at all of those things?
Not at all. Think of grammar and vocabulary like the building blocks.
Got-
Get those solid and the rest will come easier.
Right.
Then focus on speaking smoothly at a pace that people can follow.
So those are the most important things.
Yeah.
What about my accent?
Honestly, your accent is the least important part.
Really?
As long as people can understand you,
Mhm.
it adds personality to your speech.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
I was worried about sounding too different.
What matters is that you're clear and confident. And remember, improving any skill takes time.
Yeah.
Be patient with yourself
Okay.
and focus on getting a little better every day.
So it's not about finding some magic trick. It's about putting in the work consistently.
You got it. And the rewards are huge.
Yeah.
Being a good communicator can change your life.
Okay. We've covered the basics of improving English,
Uh-huh.
but there's still so much to explore.
Right.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive into how to make your communication even more powerful.
Sounds good.
Welcome back. We've talked about the building blocks of good communication.
Right.
Now let's talk about how to make your message really stick with people.
Yeah, that's where the magic of storytelling comes in. Everyone loves a good story, right?
Absolutely. Stories grab your attention and make you feel something.
Yeah,
But how do we use storytelling in everyday conversation?
right.
It's not like we're all giving speeches all the time.
You'd be surprised, even small conversations can be stories. Think about it when you meet someone new. You tell them about your life, your work, your experiences.
Yeah.
Those are all stories.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But how do you make those everyday stories interesting?
It's about finding the heart of the story.
Okay.
So instead of just saying, I work as a teacher,
Right.
think about why you do it.
Right.
What impact do you have on your students? What challenges have you overcome?
So it's about adding emotion and meaning to the facts.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to be a little vulnerable.
Okay.
Sharing a personal story, even a mistake you learn from, can make you more relatable and memorable.
I guess it shows that you're human, not just a robot spitting out information.
Right. People connect with authenticity. So even if you're nervous, let your personality shine through.
Okay, so I get that storytelling is important,
Yeah.
but how do you actually structure a story?
Right.
Do I need a beginning, middle, and end for every little thing I talk about?
It doesn't have to be that formal. Think of it more like sharing an experience.
Okay.
Set the scene, describe what happened, and then share what you learned or how it made you feel.
So it's like taking someone on a little journey with your words.
Exactly. And just like any journey, you can add in interesting details to keep people engaged.
Yeah.
Humor, surprises, a little bit of drama.
Right.
These are all part of good storytelling.
This is making me think about how I talk in a whole new way.
Good.
But what if you're not a natural storyteller?
Right.
Are there ways to get better at it?
Absolutely. Everyone has stories to tell.
Got it.
Start by sharing small stories with friends or family.
Okay.
You can even practice in front of a mirror to get more comfortable.
That's a great idea.
Hmm.
It's like anything else, the more you practice, the better you get.
Exactly.
Are there any books or resources that can help people become better storytellers?
There are tons, but one of my favorites is called Storyworthy. It's a great guide to finding and crafting stories that people actually want to hear.
Okay, that's going on my reading. And, you know, it's not just about telling your own stories.
Right.
Being a good listener is just as important, right?
You're absolutely right. Active listening is crucial for good communication.
Yeah.
It means truly paying attention to what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak.
I think we're all guilty of that. Sometimes our minds wander
Yeah.
and we miss half of what's being said.
It happens to the best of us, but when you actively listen, you show the other person that you respect them and value their thoughts.
Right.
And that builds stronger connections.
So how do you become a better listener? Are there any tricks to it?
It's more about mindset than tricks. Make eye contact, ask clarifying questions to make sure you understand, and try to summarize what you've heard to show you're really paying attention.
Those are great tips. And it makes me think about how communication is really a two-way street.
Exactly. It's a dance between speaking and listening.
Yeah.
And both are equally important.
This has been so insightful.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground already, from the basics of speaking and writing to the power of storytelling and active listening. But there's still more to explore, right?
You bet. Communication is a vast and fascinating world.
It is.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Right.
But I think we've laid a strong foundation for our listeners to start building their own communication skills.
I agree. And we'll be back after a quick break to dive even deeper into this exciting topic. We're back, and I'm ready to keep digging into this communication thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much there is to learn.
It really is a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
And one challenge that comes up a lot, especially in today's world, is communicating with people from different cultures.
Oh, that's so true. What's normal in one place can be totally different somewhere else. I remember once I was traveling and I accidentally, let's just say I made a bit of a cultural blunder.
Oh.
It was embarrassing.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
It highlights how important it is to be aware of cultural differences.
Right.
It's like traveling to a new country. You do your research, learn some basic phrases, and try to be respectful of local customs.
So for conversations, we should do our research too.
Yeah.
Like look up what's considered polite or rude in different cultures.
Exactly. But even with research, there will be things you miss.
Right.
That's why active listening and asking questions are so crucial in cross-cultural communication.
So don't just listen to the words. Pay attention to everything, like body language and tone of voice.
You got it. And when you ask questions, make sure they're respectful instead of saying, why do you do it that way? Right. I've noticed things are done differently here. Could you help me understand?
That makes such a difference.
Yeah.
It shows you're curious, not judgmental.
Exactly. Now let's zoom out for a moment and talk about why all of this matters.
Okay.
Why is communication such a big deal?
Well, it feels like good communication is important for everything.
It is.
Relationships, jobs,
Hmm.
even just getting what you need at the store.
You're right. Communication is how we connect with the world around us. Think about history. Wars have been started and ended by communication. Ideas have spread and movements have been born, all because people were able to share their thoughts and feelings.
It's powerful stuff. And on a personal level, being a good communicator can help you build stronger relationships, achieve your goals, and just feel more confident in yourself.
Exactly. It's not about manipulating people or being a smooth talker. It's about expressing yourself clearly and authentically and connecting with others in a meaningful way.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step for someone who wants to keep getting better at communication?
The journey never really ends, but here's a thought to take with you. All the techniques and tips we've talked about, they're just tools. The real magic happens when you communicate from a place of genuine curiosity, empathy, and a desire to connect.
So it's not just what you say, but who you are when you say it.
That's it. When you speak from the heart, your words carry more weight.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for communication, and I'm excited to keep learning and growing.
And remember, everyone starts somewhere. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Practice every chance you get. And most importantly, enjoy the journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into mastering communication. Until next time, keep talking, keep listening, and keep connecting with the world around you.